Hey, welcome to Screenplay Junkie. My name's Drew Helmick, and I'm a screenwriter. Film is a pretty sweet medium of art. However, before anything can make it to the big screen, it must start as a blueprint, text on paper. So if you're a fellow addict of film and storytelling, come join us as we take a look at various types of screenplays, short stories, and other source material that were crucial to the creation of the stories that we all love. I must warn you, though, there will be spoilers, so I do recommend being familiar with the title that's being discussed. Sound good? Cool. Then let's get started.
When I was downtown last week, Brian, I saw this homeless guy pick his nose and then he put the booger in his pocket.
That's pretty awesome. You gotta save that for later, dude.
Or something.
Dude, his pocket was like bulging. I think he had a lot of them in there.
A pocket book?
There was a lot of boogers in his pockets.
It's the booger packet.
Yeah. And he's wearing cargos too, so he had lots of pockets.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of storage.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of
That's
storage.
pretty awesome.
Just like how Seth in Superbad says, no one's got a Bloge in cargo since Nam.
That's right. I forgot about that.
That's such a good line in the movie. Fucking
That
cargo.
is classic. Wasn't in the script though. It's not.
I don't know. Yeah, was that in the script?
I didn't see
I don't
it.
remember.
No, it wasn't. It was just in the movie. Yeah, who came up with that? Man, that's gold.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
That is pretty good.
Welcome, fellow story addicts, to Screenplay Junkie, episode number 2. I'm your host, Drew Helmick. Alongside me today, I have both of my brothers, Matt and Brian. What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up? It's Brian. First time on the show. Glad to be here. I'm out in Iowa City via phone call.
On the phone, on the airwaves.
The first ever phone call. for
Airwaves
SJ.
on the airwaves. I love it, Brian.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice to hear your voice, man. I mean, I get to look at Drew's pretty face here every time you do this.
Yeah,
with you.
Brian, I haven't seen you since you left.
Yeah, I think if I just close
no
my
doubt.
eyes, I can imagine you're here.
I haven't even heard your voice since you left.
Hey, but next, what are we looking at? 18 hours? We'll be in the city.
True. All right, so today we're going to be looking at Superbad. What were your guys' brief perceptions of the script?
I loved it, and I'll go first, Brian. I want to talk about the order. I think that I read the script and watched the movie, which is actually the reverse order. I watched the movie and then I read the script, and I think that helped so much appreciate the script in its entirety. And I wasn't as critical as reading it just because it was really visual for me. But I loved it. I thought the jokes were hilarious. I thought the jokes that didn't make the movie were hilarious, and I can't wait to talk about them with you guys.
What about you, Brian?
I couldn't agree 100% with that. As I watched the movie, then read the script as well, and during the script reading, every section I read, I was vivid image right in of the scene of the movie. It mirrored perfectly.
Yeah.
When I look at it.
No, I mean, I thought it was okay. I mean, maybe I'm just being too critical, but it's always tough when you
They're
first...
right.
It's always tough... Well, no, I mean, it's always tough when you first have seen the movie, and then you watch the screenplay
Yeah.
because you expect it to be just like the movie. But nonetheless, a great template for a great film. So let's get into the script info. So this was actually an idea that was conceived when Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg were in 9th grade.
Hey, for all of you that can't remember how old you were when you were in 9th grade, you were 13.
You were a freshman in high school.
I didn't even know what alcohol was.
Well, you knew what it was, but you weren't drinking.
Yeah, only rubbing alcohol.
About it.
My question is, we don't have to talk about this that much, but how far did they get when they were 13? Were the dicks involved when they were 13? That's what
I don't know.
True.
I would love to
involved.
see the original script that they had. Anyways, the script that we read was dated as July 20th, 2006. And again, it was written by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. And it comes in at 114 pages. So Matt, what's the IMDb info got with this one?
Okay, so you said what was the date of the screenplay?
July 20th, 2006.
Okay, and the original release date of the movie was August 17th, 2007.
All right.
Okay, and like
A year, damn.
Like Drew mentioned, yeah, a year. So there's plenty of time for like revisions to be in there. Like Drew said, it was written by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, directed by Greg Mottola. Not really sure.
Yeah, he probably butchers his name, but it's cool.
I've never actually heard of him. I don't know. Never seen another movie he's done, but he did a really good job with this one. So just to go over the actors real quick, we had Jonah Hill playing Seth, Michael Cera playing Evan, Christopher Mintz-Plasse playing the amazing Fogel, a.k.a. McLovin. Then Bill Hader and Seth Rogen played the two cops. Emma Stone played Jules. Joe Latruglio plays that creep Francis the driver, and that's pretty much it with all the famous people in this movie. And then I will now go ahead and read the log line, which is kind of odd. Like honestly, I don't really think this fits for the entire movie, but I'll read it and you guys can tell me.
Yeah, let's hear it.
2 codependent high school seniors are forced to deal with separation anxiety after their plan to stage a booze-soaked party goes awry. Like, doesn't that just kind of like not?
I don't agree.
That's not the movie at all.
No,
it makes sense to me.
I mean, it makes sense, but it's like I feel like there's so much more going on. But
so much more.
I mean, that's only one sentence.
Well, that's like the sweet side of the story. You know, like that's their exactly their anxiety is that
that's what
the two buddies that have always been together are afraid they're going to get separated.
That's like a therapist diagnosis of this movie.
And what was
Wow,
Matt?
no, hold on. So listen to this. So in other countries, the movie was actually released under the title of Separation Anxiety. Isn't that crazy?
I guess. All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyways, to go over more just like information on this movie.
Does not sound appealing at all.
No, it does not. Well, the budget for this guy was $20 million. Cumulative worldwide gross. This is all the money it's made since its release date. $169 million.
Dude, I would not have guessed the 20 mil for the
Rogen
budget.
And Goldberg could have quit right there. Called it.
Hey Matt, actually, let's go over the trivia for this one because actually it was unbelievable.
Yeah,
Pretty
sure.
funny.
So we already mentioned that they were 13 years old, Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, when they started writing this movie.
So this was in the 90s.
13 years old.
Had to have been the 90s.
Wow.
Had to be. This is before Seth Rogen was on Freaks and Geeks too, I think. If anyone ever watched that.
That's where he met Judd Apatow, and that's actually where he gave the script that him and Evan were writing for feedback.
That's awesome.
I'm assuming that's where you met James Franco.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
There's a whole squad of actors that we could go over there too, because Jason Segel,
yeah.
he's in there too.
Yeah.
But anyways, so
True. Damn. There's a bit of people in that.
Rogen and Goldberg were not creative at all with making the lead characters' names in this
Right.
movie because
Yep.
their names are Seth and Evan, their names, obviously based on themselves, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
This is Eminem's favorite movie of all time. He references it in a few songs of his, which I thought was hilarious.
Oh, really?
Okay, and this is the golden nugget, Brian. Get ready. The dick drawings featured in the film are actually drawn by David Goldberg, Evan Goldberg's real life brother. and guess what, Brian? He drew close to 1,000 dicks, and only a handful were featured in the movie.
It sounded like he had like the therapy that Seth's character had to go through as a child.
Yeah.
Did that with real life happen to him?
It had, and then I bet like half of them, like his mom had just saved, like in like a little case under his
There was a
old
nice
bed.
collage,
Wait.
a dick collage.
You're telling me that was a true story, him as a child, not him as a grown-up being like an artist?
No, this is speculation. Like,
Yes,
I'm just thinking.
we're
Like,
just joking around.
like, how else do you write that into your movie unless it's like actually your brother drawing dicks all the time, which probably is what happened.
Here's another thing. Going back to when we said that Evan and Seth, the writers, they had so the characters' names are Seth and Evan, of course. When I noticed that at first, I was like, dude, this is so uncreative. Like how? Like, I understand naming characters is difficult, but like, come on. I was so critical on them for that.
But when you watch the movie, the names like really work. I feel like they really fit the
They do.
characters.
They do, though.
Yeah.
Back to dicks though. So, like I said, 1,000 dicks were drawn. If any listener out there wants to see all 1,000 dicks, you can, because on Amazon they actually sell a book that has every single one of David Goldberg's dick drawings that he made for the movie.
Oh my
1,000
god.
pages. You have 1,000
That's
pages.
unbelievable.
500 pages, maybe if they're
Is that considered pornography?
It'd be like,
What's the title of the book? Is it just like dick pics?
It's a dictionary. Horrible puns, yes.
Yeah, David Goldberg's Dictionary. That's the name of the book. Oh man, I forgot about this too. There's even more on the dicks. Fun trivia.
encyclopedia.
So Brian, so like when they were making the movie, Judd Apatow talked about in an interview that they had like problems with government regulations on what kind of dicks and like how in detail they could go into with the dick in the movie.
Really?
Yeah, it says here that they had legal wrangling, including how erect the dick could be, if veins could be shown, etc. And also, when the girl who plays like young Becca, when what's his name again?
Seth?
When Seth tips his lunchbox over and the dick hits her in the foot, they couldn't show her like the actual picture that you see on the screen in the movie. Like they had to just show her like something completely different because it would have broken laws to show her that throbbing muscular cock.
That makes a lot of sense. You got to protect the innocence there on that one.
Oh, I agree with that one.
And there's probably something with child labor laws included, I would imagine.
Oh, and in the movie, the F word is used 186 times, and that wraps up the trivia. All right.
That's wrong. I counted 187.
Oh. Did you watch the extended version or the film theater edition? Because I don't think we're on the same page here.
Well, if you include the last name of fuck, when he's like, I once arrested someone with the legal name fuck.
I once booked a man lady legally named fuck.
Spell it with a PH.
PHUK.
All right, let's dig into this thing. Cut to segment 2, discussing the script versus the film. This script is interesting because it holds true to the film by having a very similar structure holding nearly all the plot points. So, Matt, take it away.
Okay, so the first main difference I want to talk about between the screenplay and the movie starts with the description of Seth. That's Jonah Hill's character in the movie. So in the screenplay, the writers describe him as having a sad attempt at growing a goatee, which I think is hilarious. Like, what did he have, like a soul patch or something, like real ugly, some peach fuzz?
Every high schooler.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, every high schooler experiments with growing facial hair. And they also describe him as being a terrible driver, which fits his character. But the really funny thing here, that's the big difference between the movie and the screenplay, is when Seth is describing the porno sites he wants to subscribe to when he gets to college. In the screenplay, they talk about bangbus.com and weaponsofassdestruction.com. But then in the movie, they talk about vagtasticvoyage.com. And then also Weapons of Mass Destruction, I believe, too, because he mentions that one, saying he could tell his parents it's for research for ancient Rome orgies.
Why do you just subscribe to all of them, man? Just get them all.
Get them all. Yeah, I mean, well, do you guys want to hear the ones that they didn't use? Because they had other ideas for porno sites that they just didn't make the script or the movie.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, so
yeah, run it.
The first one's Wisconsin-based. It's called Wholesome Whores. Big woman. It's very like milk themed, cow themed, poultry
like
themed,
Swiss cheese.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. The second one is lederhosenlesbians.com. That one's pretty self-explanatory. Just close it.
German girls.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And then that last one that they decided, this one, it was one Seth was going to have to go like offshores to kind of get because it's banned in the United States. It's called thickthottiesanddeadbodies.com.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that one's banned, like I said, in the U.S., but if there's a will, there's a way.
Jeez, why didn't they use that one? I mean, that one's not, like vicious or anything, or it does not promote necrophilia at all.
Limp hotties with no bodies.
Limp hotties with no bodies. Oh yeah, man, that domain was actually taken already. That domain was taken. Damn it.
All right, next we got this was actually a scene that was in the script that was not included in the movie. This is when Evan and Seth go back home after they get out of school. This is before they go out for the night, and they're at Evan's house, and they're looking to steal some booze from Evan's parents. And it's kind of like a Mission Impossible scene where the mom is around and the kids are,
kind of ducking and diving to try to get around her. And once they do get to the bar, they notice that the liquor bottles have been marked with a permanent marker, so that the parents are tracking them, so they cannot take it, or at least dump it out. And when they do taste it, it's already watered down because apparently Evan's older brother has already gotten to the stash.
You beat him one step ahead of him.
Yeah.
Now my question is, in the real world, have you guys ever stolen?
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Yeah, you just take a little vodka out and you put water back in. The problem with that, though, is one of my friends that we would do, like from his parents, we would steal from. They kept their vodka in the freezer. So eventually, we had took too much vodka and put too much water in it. So the bottle
froze.
The bottle was frozen. So his parents knew that we were stealing from them.
Yeah. Or they're like, oh my god, we bought some shitty alcohol.
Yeah.
All right. So what I found interesting when it came to script versus movie and scene selection was when Fogel walks into the liquor store.
Okay, I just want to quickly bring up the fact that in the screenplay they talk about how a guy with scoliosis stole a keg from the grocery store. Store that Fogel worked at.
Yeah.
Because Seth is like, what do you mean? I can go in there and steal? A guy with scoliosis stole a keg. I thought that was so funny.
The man, how do you get it out? I don't know. But we all know he walks in very nervous, as anyone would be first time buying alcohol. But what they left out of the movie was, while he's in there looking around, he drops the six-pack. Or, no, this happened previously before the six-pack dropped, that someone is in there with his mom, and he goes, Fogel, is that you?
It's Moscovich. Hey, it's me,
No,
Moscovich.
it's not me.
This kid's just
Turns out,
shopping
yeah,
with his
it's
mom.
Moscovich. No one knows who he is.
I want to know what they were shopping for. Like, they just got out of school. He's already with his mom in the gas station nearby the school.
mom.
What are they getting?
His mom's obviously just an alcoholic, and she's like, hey, I gotta get my cigarettes and my Red Man Chew and my vodka, baby.
I need my vodka.
I just feel bad for Moscovich because his mom's a drunk and probably beats him.
Yeah, he was probably on a leash.
Why didn't he come back into the movie? I was hoping he would be at like a party or something later on. Have like a cameo when he's taking shots, venting about how his mom's like a savage.
That would have been pretty good. It's just a recurring joke with him.
Character bringing back was the Asian dude.
Maroki?
Maroki. He's all just chucked up at the party.
Yeah.
Sipping. Just funny.
Oh yeah, and then while we're at the liquor store, because when Fogel gets punched in the face, when the two cops arrive, Rogan and Bill Hader's characters, in the script there's really no exchange with the cashier. All she says in the script is, "I got a test tomorrow."
The black lady who's got
veterinarian
exams.
All she says in the script is, "I got an exam," and then she just runs away. And the first line that the cops say is, "Well, apparently she has an exam." There's no funny little
Yeah, because
was he about yay big? Was he dark?
Was he like me? Oh, so he's Jewish.
Yeah, that whole entire part was non-existent in the screenplay.
I like that addition though. It's fun.
It's such a good scene in the movie. And there's an addition too. Before McLovin gets punched, when you mentioned, Brian, when he drops his six-pack and the worker at the gas station or whatever is like, "Hey, did you do that?" In the movie, Fogel he says, "No, I didn't do that, and you should clean it up." And the guy just goes like, "Fuck my life." And it is one of the best scenes in the entire movie because I feel like everyone's worked like a lowly job like that.
Oh, totally.
And if someone clearly spilled something then denied it, oh man.
Well, he's still holding it. It's just are you kidding me?
What a day at work.
You're clearly holding it.
And then they wrote him back. Did you notice, Brian, that he's back in the movie too at the party they go to with the guy that says he can get him liquor?
Yeah,
he's there at the party. Yeah.
Let's get fucked up, and the guy's fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Gotcha.
Well, while we're talking about this guy who was working at the liquor store, he comes back to the party. Well, when Evan and Seth show up to this party later on, after Seth gets hit by the car, and the guy's like, "I'll do anything," and they're like, "Well, give us booze." So he takes him to the party. In the screenplay, Evan does a horrible, cringy rap, and in the movie, he sings, of course, "These Eyes" by. Oh my God, I'm blanking on the Guess Who. He does. Yes. He does these eyes by the Guess Who. Does anybody want to go ahead and rap the, little Evan rap that we have? The GTA-based rap that we have?
It was from GTA.
Yeah, well, and it made sense because earlier in the script, Evan's character was playing Grand Theft Auto when they were hanging out, so they brought that back at least. It wasn't just some random rap there was some context at least.
Okay.
Oh, that rap's actually from Grand Theft Auto?
No, he was playing the game.
Right. Oh, yes. Yeah, I know he was talking about.
He was just ad-libbing about GTA. That's all he was doing.
Nah, it's yo, I kill a horse, fight city with my Magnum 9, take out the punk pigs with my Glock design, drink a the Hennessy and get benign, fuck all the bitches with their asses fine.
See, that's just super whack. Like,
I did not want to see Michael
glad-
Cera rapping
yeah, I'm
that.
glad
I don't
for
want to
this
see
win.
that.
oh my god, that would have been awful. That would have been so bad.
I wonder, like, there must have been other songs tossed in the air, like, who's like, these acts, let's do it.
I mean, I guess if you wanted to go for awkward, then okay, that would have been super successful. But like, it would have just
Yeah.
been horrible. Like, I didn't laugh when I read it in the screenplay. I was kind of just like, okay.
Yeah, I was like, okay, too. I was like, what the fuck? So after Evan raps all of this, well, he begins to rap it because there's a guy sitting there labeled in the script as dude. He's like, yo, I know you. You're Jimmy's friend, right?
Jimmy's brother.
Jimmy's brother. So then he gets him the rap, of course. And then further down in the script, when Seth is in the center of attention of the party, of course, with the two laundry detergents in his hands, the fight breaks out and the bottle hits dude number one in the head. And it turns out to be the guy in that keg shirt. It's Kappa, Sigma, then just a G.
Yeah, right.
I just find that super funny and just putting the two together. And I was like, oh, dude won.
Yeah, I know.
Coke out guy.
I wonder if that's what he's labeled as in the movie then. Because yeah, I mean, they don't. None of those guys have names or anything.
No.
They're just random people.
No.
Dudes. They're just named dudes.
So another difference is, I mean, the cops. Like, in here, I felt like they were like pretty unlikable. They're like all their dialogue was like violent, and all like everything they did was just abusive of power.
They're more
Which-
dopey and yeah, just
I mean, if that's okay, I get it. If that's like the dynamic of their character, but I mean,
Yeah.
just how they read, like I didn't like them at all.
It,
And
like,
compared to the movie, I didn't like
the
these
movie had
guys.
them a lot like more whimsical. I feel like, whereas
Yeah.
the screenplay, like you were saying, they were just more cold and like
Yeah,
just kind of like unlikable, I guess in a way. They were not good cops.
no, they weren't. No. The next one we got here is when they actually go. Everybody actually makes it to Jules' party, and Fogel's upstairs with what's her name, Nicola? Did we say? Mm-hmm. He's upstairs with Nicola.
Nikolai?
No, not a Nikolai.
Nicola.
With Nicola.
Like Ricola.
And this is when Schlater and Michaels are called to the party. So, they're downstairs. They're getting everybody out. They're searching the house. They finally come upstairs, and they see that Fogel is with this girl. And so the girl runs out of the room, and the cops, they're like, Fogel, what are you doing? You're having sex with a minor. Because they're still playing along that he's 21.
25.
Oh, they're 25. All right, that's his age.
McLovin.
Loving, yeah.
So the difference here in the script is that they're pressing against him that that he's having sex with a minor. So they arrest him, they bring him down through the house, and they put him in the car, and then they talk to him for like a second. They're kind of just disciplining him for like a second, and then that's when they say, we're just kidding, dude. Like, we knew that you were not 25 the whole time. We knew you were a minor. We're just messing with you. And then actually in the movie, that's when they they bring Fogel
Drag
out
him
like
out,
yeah,
yeah.
like he's like a crazy lunatic.
Another key thing that they add in the movie, which I highly enjoy, is that they acknowledge that they did indeed walk in and cock-blocked Fogel. Bro code says, don't cock-block.
Wait, you're saying that happens only that didn't happen in the script, right?
No, that only happens in the movie.
Yeah, right.
You realize what you've done?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what makes them like more lovable too, the cops, because then just the two, like the high school kids and the cops are in a way similar.
Very, yeah.
I mean, they're
When
different,
they-
but they're similar, and in the script they're just assholes.
I love how Seth Rogen's like talking to him in the movie after. He's like, yeah, bro. He's like, if you were inside of her, you're not a virgin anymore. He's like, coming's overrated.
And the movie as well, because they said like they only went along with it because they're like, it reminded us of our high school lives.
Yeah.
Which is great. It's that more connection between the characters as well, as a viewer as well too. No, I agree with that.
Yeah, that was like the the emotional, relatable, sweet part that they had. That probably Judd Apatow and other producers took and were like, yeah, we need to add some more,
Definitely. Heartfelt moments.
Yes, more heartfelt moments.
So after the party's busted, everyone's wrapped up. Seth and Evan made their way home and got their sleeping bags. They're friends now, of course. That's the same in the movie and script. But another subtle change is within the movie when Fogel goes with the two cops. They go for their free drifts as well on the boat. And in the movie, they burn it at the end to cover up the tracks. But the script, they push it off about.
Yeah.
But still unload gangster style full clip into it.
What was it? Wreck yourself, fool, or break yourself, fool. All right, cool. You guys, what about final verdicts about this thing? What do you guys think overall?
Well, final verdicts, I mean, I love the movie. Like, I've seen it over 20 times at least in my lifetime. I absolutely love it. The screenplay was great. The movie's better overall. The screenplay is a good read, but we talked about earlier just all the visuals you get from reading the screenplay. That's how you know the movie's great, because all the reading the screenplay makes you think about is the movie.
Yeah, totally.
I want to do a couple quick shout-outs, things we missed. The part where Seth and Evan are talking on the playground and James Franco's brother runs by and they make fun of him for pissing his bed.
Yeah.
That is one of the most classic scenes in the movie. He's like, screw you guys, that was like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
That's just like a classic high school dirt.
The little things,
like just classic high school dirt you could have on somebody. I thought that was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious how McLovin, when he's being questioned by the cops after he got punched, they ask him why his name's McLovin, and he references that he tried to be an Irish R&B singer, and they bought it, which was ridiculous. And then there's that awesome scene when the kids are on the bus in the movie, and the bum is there, and he calls McLovin McMuffin. I mean, that gets a laugh out of me every single time. And that line was not. It was not in the screenplay. Yep, not in the screenplay. That's all I got.
I guess off the bat, I mean, first screenplay I've ever read, honestly, start to finish, other than Drew's handwritten. I highly enjoyed it. It's very, like Matt was saying, visually they connect very well. Movie, of course, is a lot better. Just engage instead of reading words, like watching. Scene-wise, of course, just one of my classic scenes. It's just, honestly, just the liquor store encounter where Fogel, he gets it, he's excited, he's like, I'm buying alcohol for the first time, and just gets jawed and put down. So unexpected.
He gets cracked. He gets absolutely cracked.
If you were not to see it. It's just problem after another with this movie, which they do very well. And how they bring just the hobo on the bus again, you think he's gone from the movie, they just bring him back and he's got the empty tied, what do you call it, canister in his hand. He's like, we need more alcohol. And Seth's like, we already took our beer.
Yeah, laundry detergent mixed with beer. That's got to be very nutritious.
Overall, great movie.
Yeah, it cleans your liver.
I love it.
For me,
not laugh.
I'm probably gonna piggyback on some things you guys said, but and some stuff I said earlier. But I mean, yeah, I agree. The movie's way better. The script, it's not super bad. It's not super good. I think it's super mediocre. I mean, it's tough, I mean, these guys are prominent in Hollywood. I'm not an expert. Comedy's hard to do comedy's hard to do on paper. But just reading it, the movie's clearly way better. When Apatow got involved and the directing, I just think the directing and the actors made this script really come to life. The main thing for me was the dialogue in the script. It didn't really work. It was either hit or miss, which is cool. But I mean, I think with just the improv that all the actors probably did on set really made it more organic than just what Seth and Evan had made up themselves when they were in 9th grade. So props to them for that. But
it still amazes me in 9th grade. I
yeah,
had no idea about that.
But I mean, one last thing,
Fact,
like
though.
that I'm bagging on this thing. I mean, the movie got made. That's the goal, right? So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cut to closing segment. All right, cool. So, what else have you guys been doing except for reading and watching Superbad?
Brian, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure.
You know what? I'm going to go first. Okay. So I've been watching a ton of football, and I would tell you guys all about my fantasy football team, but I don't really think anyone gives a crap, so I'm not going to.
No,
All right. Thank you for saving us that time.
not a chance.
Okay, Brian, I'll give you permission to go now.
I'm ready. Drew, you don't want to come out? All right, I'm still going.
No, yeah, dude, go ahead. You go.
Watching, sports, Sunday football, agreed, man.
You guys are just sports freaks over here, huh?
Rewatching, actually, that Spotify Premium gives you Hulu as well, so I'm getting a regular show again. Love that show. Just burning through episodes, little 15 minutes. Other than that, Creighton, still making dope beats.
Yeah, dude, Brian, shout out.
good.
Yeah, shout out for making intro and outro for this show. We never actually,
Hey,
we never said that yet. So yeah, dude.
Props. Golf clap.
much appreciated, but
Is that all you got going on there, you nerd?
yeah, I'm not doing school. Just here, chilling.
Cool.
No, I'm in school. It's fun.
Yeah, dude.
Women.
What do I got going on? I mean, I don't know. I'm just being a psycho, just trying to write some screenplays. Working on a second feature right now. I think this is actually my 7th script that I've been trying to write.
Damn.
So they're kind of compiling.
Damn.
Hopefully my first feature, hopefully that thing gets sold. But I'm not going to get my hopes up too much because it's a grind. So working on the second feature right now. Got a bunch of other shorts. Well, I've been reading Redeployment. It's just a short story, military short stories of just different point of views. It's interesting. Been playing some MLB The Show.
Yeah.
Trying not to play video games too much.
I drop bombs.
Just like a little bit here and there for leisure. But that's about it.
Bombs for a living.
That's about it. Hey, just wanted to end really quickly just by saying thank you guys. We really appreciate you for listening to this show. Next episode, we're going to be taking a look at A Quiet Place, and then we're actually going to be doing some experimental things for the next coming episodes that we have got going on here. So thanks. We'll see you then.